There are different types of stocks. Large cap stocks, mid cap stocks, and small cap stocks.
How to decide which is the one for you? First, decide on the fund.
Don't listen to anyone and everyone.
When it comes to your hard-earned money,
Join us as we put the spotlight on 6 stocks.
on your show, Hot Money.
Bro, what are you doing?
I'm trading FNOs.
So, have you made any money?
So it's simple.
If you think the market is moving upwards, just buy Nifty call option. But if you think the market could slide downwards,
Simplifying futures and options trading.
Don't worry about the future.
We've got your options covered.
Futures and options strategy that will help you move with the tide.
An unmissable trade.
If you want to be in the money.
Welcome back. You're watching The Reporter on NDTV Profit. Moving on, my colleague Saloni Kothari had the chance to speak to Kotak Investment Banking's MD and CEO S. Ramesh. Here's a quick look at the slice of the conversation.
I think if you look at the rare mirror window, I think 23 was reasonably better than 22 as far as capital markets was concerned. But when we take an outlook at 24 and a little beyond 24, let's say the early part of 25, I think the outlook seems good both on advisory and ECM. I think on expected lines, we are expecting lots of domestic and international money to be available to invest in new companies. So that will help propel the IPO market with larger deals than what we saw in 2023. The sell-down activity is likely to continue in its robustness. And when we are having conversations with corporates and financial sponsors, I think the general deal pipeline looks quite healthy as far as advisory is concerned. So we expect that also to gather momentum over the next 12 to 18 months.
But last year we saw mostly mid-sized deals, in terms of value, that for that matter. But do you see kind of big-sized deals happening in this year and next year as well?
Yes, I would say that 2023 was a bit of an exception when it comes to smaller-sized IPOs that got listed. They were from good companies in general, but they were smaller in size. But when we take a look at 24 and a little beyond 24, at least our pipeline reflects larger companies in terms of market cap. And I therefore expect the float sizes to be much larger than what we saw in 23.
In terms of being an investment banking firm, I'm sure you must have quite a year last year, given the kind of activities and deals that you were involved in. So would you help us understand, from M&A as well as from ECM, how has Kotak performed in terms of the contribution?
I would say that 2023 was a good year, was a good or very good year. I think there were two activities that stood out in the investment banking side. One was IPOs and second was sell downs. I think we had a reasonably good share in both of them. When it comes to M&A, while the actual deal closures have been muted, and there are reasons for that, I think we have used the time to engage with corporates and other relevant people to see how we can build our pipeline, which can be therefore sort of built out over the next 12 to 18 months.
Well, that was the firm's MD and CEO to NDTV Profit. Let's move on. Rapido Cab Service has been in the market for a decent amount of time now. Our colleagues spoke to Rapido's co-founder, Pavan Guntupalli, who shed light on the startup's cab foray.
Cabs, we have launched it a quarter ago. And we have launched it with this value proposition of zero commission, the first of its kind in the country, with just a nominal subscription and zero commission forever for the cab drivers and lowest price guarantee for the customers. We have launched cabs. And as of now, we are in all the top 7 cities of the country. And the response has been just phenomenal. In cities like Hyderabad that we started off early on, we are close to 25% of the market share already. And all in all, we are doing more than 1.5 lakh rides a day in this category just within a quarter. And a lot of this has been literally organic, right from the drivers. We call our drivers as captains. So currently we are working with more than 2 lakh captains across the 7 cities. And even the customers, there has been just a lot of appreciation because we are giving lowest price with a better service.
That was Rapido's co-founder to our colleague. Ayodhya is one of the most important tourist places, says Mukesh Kumar Meshram, that too ahead of the inauguration of the Ram Temple. Now, while speaking to Pallavi Nahata, he spoke about the UP's focus on tourism. Here's what he had to say.
See, Uttar Pradesh government has already started focusing on tourism in Uttar Pradesh, and we have immense potential as far as tourism in Uttar Pradesh is concerned, and that too particularly faith-based, religious and spiritual tourism. Ayodhya being one of the most important destination, and as we know that globally there is significant presence of Hindu followers or Sanatan followers. So obviously everybody is actually aspiring to visit Ayodhya in coming years.
Well, that's all that we have for you on The Reporter. For more news and updates, please keep watching NDTV Profit.
Hello and welcome to NDTV, India's most trusted news channel. I'm Vishnu Shah.
And I'm Neeraj Shah. And we will bring you the latest updates from the World Economic Forum at Davos, Switzerland,
where the world's leading thinkers are gathering to discuss some of the most pressing issues of our time.
From climate change to digital transformation,
from health to education,
from trade to security.
Davos 2024 is the place where the future is being shaped.
And we are not just reporting the news, we are even making it.
Starting from the 15th of January on NDTV 24/7 and NDTV Profit.
Brought to you by Kent देता है सबसे शुद्ध पानी.
Different people believe in different things. In cricket, some hail the king, some believe in God. Some wait for Mr. Right, some believe in swiping right. Some run away from risk. Others run after it. For some, kids mean babies. For others, kids mean puppies. Some want a home to settle in the future. Some want to roam the world today. Some make a career in a company. Some make a career out of building companies. But when it comes to money, everybody believes in only one thing. Profit, profit, profit. And for profit, watch only NDTV Profit. We all love money.
Bro, what are you doing?
I'm trading FNOs.
So, have you made any money?
So it's simple.
If you think the market is moving upwards, just buy Nifty call option. But if you think the market could slide downward,
Simplifying futures and options trading.
Don't worry about the future.
We've got your options covered.
Futures and options strategy that will help you move with the tide.
An unmissable trade.
If you want to be in the money.
Let's be real, guys. There are many financial experts out there. Which stocks to target? What's good for long term? When to buy? When to sell? How do you stay ahead of all the financial noise to achieve your dreams?
You can accomplish all your financial dreams. Let us worry about giving you the right investing insights on the Portfolio Manager. Listen to the voices of reason as they talk about corporate health and investing principles with me, Neeraj Shah, on my show, Talking Point.
There are different types of stocks. Large cap stocks, mid cap stocks, and small cap stocks.
How to decide which is the one for you? First, decide on the
Don't listen to anyone and everyone.
When it comes to your hard-earned money.
Join us as we put the spotlight on 6 stocks.
On your show, Hot Money. Hello and welcome. You're tuned into the Small and Mid Cap Show. I'm Heeral Dadia, and with me is Harsh Saita. Harsh, a very good morning. Clearly, if you see from a market's perspective, from the day's low, you've seen a good recovery that has come in as well. We actually managed to inch above the 21,700 mark, but not holding those levels pretty closely. We are at 21,680 as we speak, but gains of around almost 0.9% coming in there. Let's quickly look at the top gainers. Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises. Two top gainers in terms of today's day of trade as we speak. Tata Motors is seeing a good run today, back above the 800 mark, and you have a Hero Motor which is seeing a good up move. Kotak Mahindra Bank also trading in the positive. On the losing end, you have names like Nestle, ONGC, Britannia, UPL, as well as the HDFC Life. These are the ones which are trading under pressure. Let's pull up a Bajaj Auto also on the screens on the back of the buyback and see what that stock is doing in trade, because pre-open did indicate a good up move. There was some cooling off that happened. There you go. Just a 1.5% up move now in terms of Bajaj Auto, and that's mainly on the back of the acceptance ratio at retail level, which will be absolutely on the lower end. If you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, again, you're seeing a recovery after yesterday's session. We're nearly at the day's highest levels in terms of Bank Nifty, with 11 advances as well as 1 decline coming in there. And you have a Bandhan Bank, which is the top gainer with gains of 2%. Kotak Mahindra Bank, PNB, ICICI, as well as a Federal Bank, which are seeing gains little over 1%. Whereas you have a AU Bank, which is seeing cuts of almost 0.3 to 0.4%. So that's what the markets are looking like overall. But Harsh, overall, if you see in terms of broader markets, what's the trend that you're picking up? Because getting into 2024 as well, the anticipation initially was that probably you will start seeing some profit booking there, but the run has continued.
Absolutely, and the run seems to have continued, but the outperformance is not visible, at least in trade today, which is a little bit of a surprise. So good morning, Hiral. Good morning to everyone. Let's quickly pull up the Nifty Mid-Cap Index, up around 0.4% or thereabouts, versus around a 0.75% where the Nifty is currently at, and Nifty Small Cap largely in line with the benchmark. So that's a positive. Quickly on to names. Some of the names which are buzzing in trade within the mid-cap space. You have the likes of the Nykas, which are continuing to gain in trade well today. You're also 6+% in trade, up higher for Nykaa. You're also within the Nifty Small Cap basket seeing good gains, the likes of an IRB gaining up 7% after a good set of December numbers, which IRB seems to have clocked. Positive reaction on that stock. Within the negatives, you have the likes of a Bikaji, a KEI, which are trading with cuts of around 1% or thereabouts within the small cap space. But in terms of specific names, you also have the likes of a GMDC up around 6% on the back of environmental clearance for their lignite plant, or rather expansion of their capacity, which will add substantially to their top line. We did speak about IRB Infra. You had within the large cap names, you had the likes of a Tata Motors, which came out with numbers up 2%, and you also have the likes of a Fino Payment applying for a small finance bank license, up around 2.5% in trade. So those are largely the names. But one of the stocks which is in focus, we have Skipper in focus today. The company has received approval to raise roughly 200 crore via a rights issue. Record date for that is set on as the 12th of January. The company's order wins have been good. The Q2 orders stood at roughly 6,000 odd crore, and the Q3 order wins also continue to be quite strong, and there is a good bidding pipeline as well. So we have the management with us, largely with regard to what's going to drive growth on execution of some of these orders. We have Sharan Bansal, who's the Executive Director at Skipper Limited, who's joining us on the show live. Good morning, Sharan. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning.
So, Sharan, talk to us. What's the plan? 200 crore rights issue. Where are you planning to utilize this 200 crore? Because on a balance sheet size of roughly 800, that's a large amount.
Yes, sure. As I've been guiding for about a few quarters now, looking at the robustness of the sector and the strong order win performance that the company's had, we are expecting a very healthy top-line growth of at least a 25% plus CAGR over the next 3 years. Now, obviously, with this growth of revenue, we can expect that the working capital requirements of the company will also be going up. The idea of the management was that the entire working capital should not be only debt funded. There should be a fair amount of equity funding in that growth of working capital as well. So the 200 crore issue proceeds will largely go towards funding of increase in working capital, and some amount will be for general corporate purpose as well. So that essentially was the idea behind the rights issue, to fund the next set of growth for the company.
Right. Sharan, this is Hiral on the side. Now, with regards to where the rights issue is concerned from here on, overall, is this something which will be utilized mainly from a FY25 perspective, or are you seeing utilization happening in FY24 itself? That's number one. And number two, which segment of business are you expecting, that will drive growth?
As of now, the company is calling in about 25% of the entire rights issue as application in the rights issue. So you can assume roughly about 50 crores will be received in this FY24 itself before March. And the balance amount, the company has not put a firm date, but tentatively we expect to receive it by March 25. So that's the outlook when the entire rights proceeds should be received by the company. In terms of business outlook and segments, of course, our engineering segment and infra segment both have been doing very, very well. Not just because of the rebound in transmission and distribution orders in the Indian market, but also globally, because thanks to the renewables push, there is a large amount of T&D investment that we are seeing in many key markets where we operate. That is the flavor of the season almost everywhere that we see. And we expect this trend to continue over the next 5 to 10 years. As renewable investments pick up pace, we should see more and more investments going into power transmission. That's the addressable segment for us. Our polymer segment has seen very healthy growth in the first 6 months. And we do expect that on the back of our national ad campaign, we should be seeing more and more sales growth in that segment as well.
Right, Sharan. Sharan, I just want to try and understand the execution of your order book. Roughly 8,000 crore is the order book you are currently sitting on. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that count. But talk to us about execution. By FY25, how much of this are you looking to execute?
September, it was about 6,000 crores. We do have a bidding pipeline of more than 12,000 crores for which we are expecting orders, and every day orders are coming in as we speak. The execution cycle of these orders you may expect to be roughly between 18 to 24 months. Of course, the Government of India is very focused on providing connectivity of power transmission to 500 gigawatts of renewable power. So we can expect that, yes, execution will not be a challenge for these contracts. And of course, we do have a fair share of export orders as well in this overall order book. So 18 to 24 months is what you can expect the execution to take place in. Plus, of course, as we go along, new orders will continue to flow in.
Right. Sharan, polymer business is something where you are seeing good traction that is coming in. So overall, what's the trajectory looking like on that front? Number one. And overall, if you see, apart from the way the order book has been growing, how are you expecting the revenue mix to change?
Business, you're right. We've seen almost 40 to 50% growth in volumes as well as value over the previous 6 months. With the back on the strength of our national ad campaign, we do expect that momentum to continue. There is a strong push on the water distribution sector by the government of India through projects such as Jal Jeevan and Awas Yojana, etc. So there is definitely a lot of demand coming in there. In terms of the revenue mix, we do expect that because all our segments are growing well,